So today guys, we are in my kitchen, and by today, I mean tonight, it's like 10 o'clock at night right now. But I need to do some meal prep, and I thought I might as well film it, show you guys how to do it. I have done a video like this before, but I can't even remember what I was doing in that one, to be honest. So things might have changed since then, and there might be some new stuff that you pick up from this. If anything's changed, probably the fact that I am now busier. I have less time available to do shit, like cook. So meal prep for me is all about making it efficient. It's the reason that I meal prep. It makes it so much easier for me to stick to a plan. Even if you're calorie tracking, even if you're macro tracking, as long as you know what you're going to be eating, you can then prep for it. For me, I eat pretty much the same foods every single day, so it makes it even easier. I know what I'm prepping, I know the quantities I need to prep, I don't even need to think about it really. But again, having the food there, having it prepped, it makes it more likely that you're going to eat it, and it makes it easier to stick to your plan. Again, if it's easier to stick to your plan, well, again, that goes back to being more likely that you're going to stick to it. So, we're starting with protein sources. I've got some chicken frying here. So this is just literally the chicken like fillets that you buy that are already like kind of chopped up for you, like I mean, them things. Scottish chicken breast mini fillets, small pack. To be honest, I don't usually do it like this, but like if you're someone that doesn't like chopping chicken up, for example, well, this is already chopped up for you, so it's nice and simple. Literally just unpackage it, put it into the frying pan, and that's it. I put a little bit of salt and pepper on this, but that's it. If you're here looking for culinary experts, if you're looking for like stuff that's going to be really flavoursome and really nice, and yeah, you're in the wrong place. I'm a simple man when it comes to this shit. Again, keep it simple, makes it easier to do, makes it more likely you stick to it. So this is, as I say, an unconventional way of doing things for me. Literally, the only reason I've done this is because I defrosted them this morning. Little did I know I was going to pick up 5 kilos of chicken today, so anyway, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that as well. So obviously with the 5 kilo pack of chicken, we're not going to eat that all or cook that all right now, so get some of these Ziploc bags, and all I do is just basically split it into kilo bags and then put it in the freezer, and then you know each one of them's got a kilo in it. And then when it comes to cooking it, my usual method of cooking chicken is actually just putting it in the slow cooker, because it means I can just chuck it in there, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, as I say, nothing fancy, and you can just leave it all day. You don't even need to think about it. You come back and it's done. But anyway, like I was saying, usually I just cook a kilo in the slow cooker, and that's that. What I do with all this chicken once it's ready, because obviously I'm not going to eat all that chicken I've got in the frying pan there in one go, and I'm not going to eat a kilo in one go, is I get a tub, like this one that I prepared earlier. I put it in the tub and I put it in the fridge, and then whenever I'm having a meal, for example, I eat like a lot of like kind of potato meals, or I eat like chicken wraps and things like that. So once we take a kilo out of the freezer, we put it in the slow cooker, right, and then we weigh the whole kilo once it's cooked. That always turns out to be about 600 grams. So then I could say 100 grams raw equates to 60 grams cooked. So if I'm trying to put 150 grams of raw weight chicken into my meal, then I know that it's going to be 90 grams roughly in cooked weight. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. But the way that you cook it is going to change that. So if I cook it in the frying pan, it's going to be slightly different to if I cook it in the slow cooker, or if I cook it in the air fryer, or if I cook it in the oven. So whatever method you use, basically cook a kilo that way, weigh it all once it's cooked, and see what it equates to, and then you can do the maths and figure it out. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll open this up, I'll put it into kilo bags, and then I know that I can always take them out, and that makes life really easy. Okay, so these are definitely bigger breasts than what I'm used to. Take that in whatever way you want. But the chicken breasts I get out Aldi, which is where I usually buy them, are definitely not as large as these ones. We're getting like, usually in Aldi you're getting like 4 chicken breasts to a kilo, whereas like with this stuff, this is out Booker's, the wholesaler, you're getting like 3 chicken breasts to the kilo. So yeah, big breasts. Ugh. Just got a bit of fucking chicken on my finger. I hate that, man. Feels like I've got salmonella already. Back in a minute, I'm just going to wash my hands a million times. Okay, so now the chicken is done, and you might have gathered from the beginning of the video that chicken is my main protein source. Or not my main protein source, that's a lie. We never really discussed what I'm actually prepping. I just started prepping it. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. First meal is usually some Greek yogurt.
I don't even fucking prep that because it's some Greek yogurt, a little bit of granola, and a little bit of, I've been doing jam recently, but I just like switched to dark chocolate this morning. I'm like, probably gonna just keep that instead of the jam. So that's that, right? So that's no prep whatsoever. The next meal after that is actually oats, and I'll show you how to make that. I'm gonna do that at some point, but I'm actually going to go into the following meal after that, which is potatoes and chicken. So that's where the chicken comes in. The oats, my protein source for that is some protein powder, which again I'll show you. But like, yeah, the chicken doesn't even come into the third meal, which is potatoes and chicken, and then the following meal after that again might be potatoes and chicken, it might be wraps and chicken, might be rice and chicken, just depends what I fancy. And then the final meal of the day is usually some sort of protein source, whether it's like 5% mince, whether it's chicken again. I think that's actually really all we do, but like basically Sophie makes dinner for me, so big shout out to Sophie. She makes one meal for me a day. That sounded bad, as if I'm like, oh, she only makes one, she should make more. No, she makes my dinner for me, which I'm grateful for. It's one less meal for me to prep, and it's always like, we have like kind of 4 or 5 different things we alternate between, we kind of just switch it up. And she's really good in the sense that she like understands the portion sizes, the macros, and things like that. So she's like basically got all these things that we have for dinner. They're all basically the same kind of calories and same sort of protein in them. So yeah, so she's got it all weighed out. She uses scales and everything. So that if you're like a guy watching this and you're trying to get your missus to understand this stuff, it takes years, mate. But just get it in from the start, right? As long as you get in from the start and start building it up, they'll start to get it, okay? But no, it's really good. Obviously, like even if you're not into this shit that much, it's like, well, from a portion control, from a like ingredients point of view of like making sure you don't buy too much, you can be efficient in terms of how much food you buy, how much wastage there is. So that's always good. But the next thing we are going to prep is potatoes. So some sweet potatoes today, which again, if you have watched any of the older stuff, I used to eat a lot of sweet potatoes. Nowadays I actually alternate it between sweet and white. Crazy, I know, fucking switching up the tatty sources, but just for pure enjoyment. I quite like white potatoes, but just bought some sweet potatoes today, to be honest. That's it, just on a whim sort of thing. Seen them and was like, they look like good sweet potatoes, so might as well eat them. So we're going to prep some of them, show you how we do it. Again, nothing exciting, but show you how it's done. So potatoes are all washed, ready to go, and now I'm just chopping them up into chips, which we'll put in the air fryer. Again, relatively straightforward, not a difficult thing to do. The air fryer doesn't take any oil or anything like that, so yeah, pretty straightforward. In terms of obviously portion sizes, I'm having about like 400 grams of potato per meal, and then that's interchangeable with my other options, obviously, whether I have the rice or whether I have the wraps. It's pretty straightforward just to kind of swap them in or out in terms of carb sources. Again, you'll probably notice most of my food is like quite quote-unquote clean. It's one of those things, like, you're going to get better results if you eat healthier. Like, why wouldn't you want to eat healthier most of the time? Like, again, I get that people eat for enjoyment too. It's not just all about, like, eating what's optimal. But at the same time, like, again, I think a healthy body is a body that's going to grow, or a body that's going to get lean. I think the more shit like this you're putting in, potatoes, rather than shit, again, wraps aren't maybe the best source in the world, bagels maybe aren't the best carb source in the world. I'm not saying never have these sources, but I would have most of your sources from whole foods. Again, look at what my diet is, what we talked about earlier. You've got Greek yogurt in the morning with granola, granted maybe not the best thing in the world, but it's not bad. We've got granola, and then we've got we've got oats and protein powder. So oats are obviously a great carb source, lots of fibre. And then we've got the potato meal, and then potentially another potato meal or a rice meal. And again, my dinner is always like a lean protein and potatoes, or yeah, pretty much potatoes. Potatoes or pasta sometimes. We do pasta sometimes. So like a lot of kind of like whole foods or single ingredient foods sort of things. And don't get me wrong, again, like I'm not saying I never have wraps, I never have bagels, things like that, but these kind of sources, in my experience, from what I've had myself and with clients, to get better results. And that's whether it's for fat loss or whether it's for muscle gain, they just tend to get better results. Now, where you may look at not using as many of these sources is if you're eating a shit ton of food in a muscle gaining phase and you're really struggling, because again, if something's like high in fibre and it's slower digestion like this, well, that might just make you feel like
full, and you might be struggling to get enough food in. But again, that's why this is such a great carb source. Like potatoes in particular, sweet potatoes in particular, because like obviously they digest slower, they're good, obviously good effects on your blood sugar, and they will stop you from getting hungry quicker. So if you were having, let's say for instance, like total hypothetical situation, but you're having sweet potatoes, chicken, some broccoli, or if you're having a bagel, some jam, and a protein shake, what one's going to keep you feeling fuller for longer? Even if calories are matched, you're going to be fuller for longer off of these. And I think oats are probably the ultimate food for that. Like if you have like a decent sized serving of oats, like you're going to feel pretty fucking full. Because again, think about all the water that's absorbed in that as well. So not only are you getting that the fullness from the oats, but you're getting like whatever, a litre of water that you put in them. And the leaner you get, and like the lower your food gets in a diet. Like if you've been to that stage, you've got to the stage where you're putting as much fucking water as possible into your oats, making them just like basically a bowl of soup. But again, that's what you're doing it for. You're doing it for the fullness. You're doing it so the meal lasts longer and you get more out of it. You get more satiety out of it. So, yeah. But again, as much as like flexible dieting is a great thing for a lot of people, you do need to think about your food sources, and you do need to be sensible. You do just eat healthy. That's the long and short of it. Eat healthy, be flexible, but eat healthy most of the time. That sums it up.
So now we've got 4 sweet potato meals prepped. That'll do me until Wednesday, which funny enough is the next day I plan to do food prep, so that makes sense. And now all we're going to do is put these into the air fryer, which, that one's looking a little bit dirty, man. That is looking bad. What's been going on in there? Cheese by the looks of it. That's not been me. No. I get raging because like I try to keep these spotless. Like the last air fryer we got, it ended up quite like manky, and since we got this one, I've just been like keeping it absolutely spotless. Looking in my air fryer and they've not cleaned it out. That's fucking annoying. So if you've got the Dual Ninja, right, what do I set this to? Air fry 170 for 20 minutes seems to just about do the trick for sweet potatoes. And then match it on the other side. There we go, look at that. Easy as that. So obviously with the air fryer you just go away and leave that. Now here's what I do with this, right? I'm going to flip it around again. You've got your carb source, 400 grams of sweet potatoes. That'll be cooked in here, and then obviously goes in here, the fridge, right? So you got your carb source, you got your protein source. You probably see where I'm going with this. They'll obviously be cold and they'll be in the fridge, but add your protein to your carb source, and then I actually use this thing to reheat it. I just put it in here for a few minutes, and that's a meal together when you've got things prepped like that. Now, obviously, the other meals that I do, what other meals am I going to do? Oh yeah, oats. So I'll show you how you do oats. I'm down to 1 tub. I'm going to need to buy some more Tupperware, but I'll show you how to do the oats, and then that's basically it. That's basically all the meals that I prep throughout the day. So that's my meal prep done in literally like 30 minutes. So first things first, get your Tupperware, get your oats, weigh them out. Again, if you take anything from this, is we're weighing raw. We're always weighing raw. We're weighing raw and we're tracking raw, okay? So oats in the tub, simple as that. Now we're just waiting for the kettle to boil. And all I do with this is just literally pour the water onto the oats. And now I'm just going to leave that and let it soak it up for a little bit. When it comes to veggies, a lot of the time, all I'll do is, so I've got peas, they're not me actually, frozen broccoli, so I'll just like cook that at the time because it's really easy to cook. And then if I'm having rice, I really like these. You just get out of like the village store, I know it says Tesco, but you get out of the village store here, mixed vegetables, it's like what? Fucking green beans, carrots, sweet corn, and see if I'm having rice, I'll just cook that in with the rice, and it's just, yeah, nice, just that flavour to it, doesn't it? So yeah, that's what I'll do in terms of like veggies. So I'd left that for about 20 minutes, and now I'm going to put some protein powder in with it, so it's like basically soaked in all that water over the last 20 minutes, and it's expanded a little bit. I have got a new protein. This is the same type of protein that I always use, this AGF stuff, but a sticky toffee pudding, which smells unbelievable. I have actually had a sample of this flavour, to be fair, but yeah, I've only had like 2 scoops, I think, so be interesting to see how it tastes in the oats tomorrow morning. Also, I will put some creatine in it as well, because otherwise I just forget to do it. So it's a nice easy way for me remembering to take creatine is by putting it into my porridge oats. Obviously the creatine doesn't have any flavour anyway, so it's not exactly going to upset things too much. So yeah, just mix that in there and that is that. But can't remember if I already said when I was doing the earlier bit of video, there was like 20 minutes between this. But like the porridge oats, usually I don't prepare them in advance. I just like, or not that I don't prepare them in advance. Usually I don't prepare like a few of them, if that makes sense. So like, what I'll do is I'll wake up, I'll make the Greek yogurt because obviously it takes 2 seconds, and then while I'm making the Greek yogurt, I'll have the kettle boiling, and I'll do this after, well, while I'm making the Greek yogurt. Let it settle in while I eat the Greek yogurt, and then put the protein in after. So like I kind of just do meal 2 while I'm eating meal 1, and it takes seconds. It's like so easy. So again, if there's anything you're going to take from this, it's make your meal prep easy. Make it easy to stick to. It tastes good. That is good. Also add some blueberries into that. I'm not really sure if it goes with sticky toffee pudding, but anyway, we're rolling with it. But I think that's the thing when you say to like clients and that you're on about, oh, just have oats for breakfast. They're like, oats, that sounds horrific. They've got like some idea of just like some porridge oats with milk or water or whatever. But adding this stuff in, not just particularly this protein, but just adding protein powder in general, makes a huge difference to the flavour of that. So you can make some really nice stuff. You can put obviously berries in it, you can put dark chocolate, you can put peanut butter, you can do a lot of stuff. I even seen some guy putting like, what's it, 10 cal jellies or whatever in it. Not so sure about that stuff. But really simple, really easy, and that's it guys. That's literally all I do for meal prep. So reiterate all that. Cook the chicken, keep cooked chicken in the fridge. You can easily add to meals. I cook my carb sources that I need to cook, which is just the potatoes, because the other ones are either wraps or rice. And for rice, I've not even mentioned rice, but for rice, literally just use this stuff. And I don't even own a microwave, I just cook it in a pot. Just put it in a pot for 2 minutes for a little bit of water. So no cooking with that. And even if I was going to cook rice, get a rice cooker. So easy, so simple. I actually own a rice cooker, but I just prefer doing it like this. I think it's better, it's nicer. The rice cooker I found like I could never get the consistency right and couldn't be arsed trying any longer. So yeah, that's it. And then having your wife cook a meal as well, that's a big difference. But again, if she wasn't cooking that final meal for me, I'd just have another potato meal or just have another rice meal. Just keep it simple, make it easy. I've probably said that a million times now, but yeah, that's literally it. There's not much more to it. There's nothing fancy to it. There's nothing spectacular to it. It's plain, simple, and easy.